Hello Pilates Pro Chair Facebook group. I am Dani Hagan, one of your Pilates instructors with the Pilates Pro Chair team. And today I've got an exclusive workout just for our Facebook group. We are going to do a full body workout using just your Pilates Pro Ring. So let's get started, shall we? We're going to start with some core work. You're going to lie down on your back and take your Pilates Pro Ring, place it in between your shins. So I've got the cushions right in the center of my calf muscle here. We're going to lie down all the way onto the floor. Arms down at the side, and let's bring the legs up into tabletop. So you want to keep a nice gentle engagement of pulling the knees and the ankles towards each other. Arms down at the side, roll the shoulder heads back, and keep your neutral spine. Remember, that means you have a soft arc in your lower back with your tailbone pressing down into the floor. You're going to tap your toes down to the floor and then pull them back up into tabletop. Tap it down and pull it up. So you can stay with just this motion, or you can add on if you want a little extra challenge. As the legs come into tabletop, bring the arms up overhead. Tap the toes down, sweeping the arms back, and then back up to the ceiling. Open everything up and pull it back in. Adding on another layer, you can lift your head and chest. Tap the hands and the toes back. Exhale, pull everything back up through center. So you can go at any one of those levels that you would like. So that'll be a consistent option today as I add on more advanced levels into your exercise. So you can add on as your body sees fit. 5 more, 5. Keep squeezing those knees together. 4. Belly button pulling down to the floor. 2. Last one. And lay the head down, bring the feet down to the floor. Next up, you're going to lift up onto your forearms with your elbows bent and your fingertips reaching towards your toes. Keep a lift in the sternum so your collarbone's nice and wide. Careful not to sink down into the floor. Get that lift. We'll do a little combination here. Bring the legs into tabletop so the knees are bent. From here, tap your toes down to the floor. Pull the legs back up into tabletop. Extend the legs straight up towards the ceiling. With a straight leg, lower the legs down towards the floor. Pull the toes back up to the ceiling. Bend the knees back into the tabletop. That's the full combination. Keep a gentle squeeze on your Pilates Pro Ring the whole time to get that engagement. Tap the toes down, legs into tabletop. Extend. Sweep the legs down with a straight leg. Pull the belly button in to draw the toes up. Legs back into tabletop. Tap the toes. Keep squeezing that Pilates Pro Ring. Extend the legs up. Sweep the legs down. Legs come up. Back to tabletop. 2 more times. Tap the toes. Tabletop. Lift up through that sternum. Extend the legs. Sweep the legs down. Belly button pulls in to draw the toes up. Legs back into tabletop. Last one. Tap the toes. Tabletop. Extend. Lower it down. Sweep the legs up. Bend the knees in. And rest. Next up, we've got a little series for your obliques. So come back all the way down to the floor. Arms down to the side. Let's open your arms out to a V to give a little bit of space for your hips to move. Legs come into tabletop. This will be another one where I add on and level up as we go on. So stay at whatever level you feel comfortable with. Keep that engagement of pulling the knees towards each other. You'll tilt your knees over to the left. The shoulders stay anchored down on the floor. Now pull the abs in to push the hips back down to the floor. Notice that my legs are not collapsing all the way down. Tilt over to the right. Pull the abdominals in to press that hip back down to the floor. Shoulders anchor onto the floor. And pull it back in. Really getting into your obliques. Inhale over to the left. Press that right hip down into the floor using the right obliques. Tilt over to the right. And squeeze the left obliques to draw the hip back down. So you can either stay there or add on. Tilt over to the left. Extend the legs out. Pull the legs back into that tilted tabletop and back through center. Tilt over to the right. Extend both legs. Legs come back into tilted tabletop and back through center. Over to the left. Extend. Press those shoulders down into the floor. Keep squeezing your Pilates Pro Ring. Tilt. Extend. Pull it in. Back through center. 2 more sets. Over. Extend. Bend. Pull it in. Tilt. Reach. Bend. Keep pulling those abs in. Make sure the work is in the abdominals. And you're using your inner thighs to squeeze your Pilates Pro Ring the whole time. Extend. Bend. Pull it in. And rest. Next up, we've got our Sideline series. You'll take your Pilates Pro Ring out and place it at the end of your mat. I'm going to lie down on my left side. So I've got my left foot on the inside of my Pilates Pro Ring. I'm going to lie down and bring my top leg up to the top cushion here. And you have an option. You can lay your head all the way down if you want to place a pillow under your neck, or you can support your head in your hand. Stack your hips up on top of each other. Find your front to back connection so your belly button's pulling into your spine. And I've got my right hand stabilizing here. Now I'll pull my top leg, which is my right leg, press it down and release. Squeeze, release. 8 more. 8. Collarbones nice and wide here. 7, 6, 5. Reaching out through those toes. 3, 2, and 1. And release. Now your bottom leg will work as your top leg stabilizes your Pilates Pro Ring. So lift the bottom leg up and lower it down. Lift and lower. Shoulders are out of the ears. Belly button's pulling into the spine. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Lift and hold it. Squeeze it here. You notice we're giving you a few more challenging exercises here since we know that our Facebook group has been with us for a long time, so we want to start leveling you up. Now take your lower leg, circle it around 5 times, tracing the inside of the circle. The trick here is to not let the hips wiggle. Pull the abs in, find that stabilization through the hips, and just work that bottom leg. One more circle, and now reverse all the way around. So your foot's tracing the inside of your Pilates Pro Ring. 3 more. 3, 2, last one. And lower that leg down. So now your bottom leg is stabilizing your Pilates Pro Ring. The top leg floats up, and you'll tap the floor in front of your Pilates Pro Ring, arch up and over, and tap the floor behind you. Lift and tap, lift and tap. Very good. Pull those abs in, try and keep those hips stacked up on top of each other. Ooh, keep breathing. Reach out through those toes, nice and long legs. The more you reach out through the toes, the more you'll notice that your obliques will lift up off the floor. We want that. That's building up your core muscles as we work your oblique muscles. One of my favorites now, keep your leg back behind your Pilates Pro Ring. Lift your leg up, tap it down to the floor. Lift and tap. 8, 7, 6. You've got this nice extension through your hip flexor. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And bring the leg back up on top. Challenge round for you. You're going to come up to your forearm. Right hand is anchored down to the floor. You're going to float the hips up. Take that top hand behind your head. Squeeze your top leg down. 10, 9, 8. Shoulders wide. 7, 6. Feel those obliques. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tap the hips down. Float the hips up. Tap and lift. 8, 7. I said challenge round, I meant it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down. Moving on, you're going to take your bottom leg out, extend it in the front of your Pilates Pro Ring, roll the circle back, slide your ankle underneath, and now you've got it between your 2 ankles. Come back down to a supported position on the floor. Hold those abs in. More squeezes. 10, 9. Work those inner thighs. 8, 7, 6, 5. Shoulders back and down. 3, 2, and 1. Keep that squeeze. You'll lift your legs up and lower it down. Lift and lower. 8. Might not be a huge range of motion. That's totally fine. 6, 5. Working those obliques a little bit more. 4, 3. This time we're focusing on the top obliques. 2, and 1. And lower it all the way down. Now we get to do the other side. All right, so now we are on the other side going back into our core work. You're going to take your Pilates Pro Ring. This time you're going to place your legs through your Pilates Pro Ring and put the inside cushions on the outside of the center of your shin and lie all the way down to the floor. So last time we were working your inner thighs, this time we're working on the outer thighs. Arms down at the side. Take the legs into tabletop, gently pulling the knees apart from each other to get that activation in the side of the leg in that neutral position. And then inhale, tap the toes down. Exhale, pull the legs back into that tabletop. Inhale, tap, and pull it in. Tap, and in. And of course, you can add on the arms. Legs in tabletop, arms up. Tap the floor, sweep the arms back, and and pull it all back in through center. Inhale, extend, and exhale up. Lift the head and chest to level it up. Inhale, reach it back, tap the floor, pull it all the way back up through center. 7, 6. So again, you can always put your head down if this gets to be too much for you. 4, 3, gently pulling those knees apart the whole time. 2, last one, and rest. Excellent. Now you're coming up onto your forearms. Elbows are bent. Again, not sinking down into the floor. Think of lifting up away from the floor. Legs into tabletop. Little combination. Tap the toes down. Pull the legs back up into tabletop. Extend the legs. Pulling the legs apart as you lower the legs down. Pull the toes back up to the ceiling and bend the knees back into tabletop. Tap the floor. Tabletop. Extend. Lower. Lift. And bend. Gently pulling apart that Pilates Pro Ring the whole time. Extend, lower down, lift, and bend. 3 more times. Tap, tabletop, extend, sweep it down. Pull those ankles apart, and bend. 2 more. Tap, tabletop. Pull those abs in. Lift that sternum up towards the ceiling. Keep those abs engaged. Last one. Tap, tabletop, extend, reach to lower, lift it up, pull it in, and rest. Woo, excellent. Next, getting into those obliques. So lie back down onto the floor. Arms down at the side, opening out to a soft V for a little extra stabilization and room for the hips to move. Legs into tabletop. So again, that's knees directly over the hips, ankles directly in line with the knees. Tilt the knees over to the right. Squeeze those left obliques to push that left hip back into the floor. Tilt over to the left. And squeeze it back in. Again, I'm not collapsing all the way down to the floor. I'm just twisting to where the muscles maintain their engagement. If you go too far over, the muscles turn off and you collapse down to the floor. That's no good. Keep the shoulders rolling back, anchored onto the floor. Good. 1 more on each side, and then we add on. Tilt over to the right, back through center, to the left, back through center, adding on. Tilt, extend, back to that tilted tabletop, and into neutral. Tilt to the left. Extend both legs. Again, you're pulling that Pilates Pro Ring apart the whole time. Tilt. Extend. Use those left obliques to push that hip back down into the floor. Tilt to the left. Extend both legs. Back to tabletop. Right obliques push you down. 2 more on each side. Tilt. Extend. Bend. Back to neutral. To the left. Extend, lengthening through the neck the whole time. Shoulders pressing down into the floor. Last set. Over. Extend. Neutral. Back to tabletop. Last one. Over. And reach. Back to neutral. Ooh la la. Excellent. Now, sideline series on the opposite side. So you'll put your Pilates Pro Ring at the end of your mat. My right leg is coming on the inside on top of that cushion to anchor it in place. Coming all the way down to the floor, left leg comes to the top cushion. So again, you want to stack your hips up on top of each other. And you can keep your head supported in your hand. You can have a pillow or all the way down to the floor onto the arm, whatever works for you. Squeeze that top leg down and release. Squeeze. So you're squeezing your cheeks and pulling those heels towards each other. Really getting those inner thighs to work, pulling the abs in, and keeping that collarbone nice, wide, and open. It's a full body workout here. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bottom leg lifts up, lift, and lower. Lift. Pull those abdominals in to get that leg a little bit higher. Try to get those heels to connect. 6, 5, collarbones wide. 4, neck is long, shoulders are out of the ears. 2, last one, lift it up and hold it, squeeze it. Again, we've got that bonus round coming up soon, so don't forget. Now we're going to circle around, trace the inside of your circle. 4, 3, work those obliques. 1, and reverse. 5, 4, pull that belly button into the spine. 3, 2, and 1, and lower the leg down. Here's that bonus round coming up onto the forearm of your right arm. Press down into the floor with the left hand and lift the hips up. Left hand comes behind the head and squeeze for 10, 9, 8. Keep that lift in the hip. 7, 6, collarbone wide. 5, 4, 3. Come on, you can level up. Last one, hip dips. Hip come down to the floor and lift. lower, and lift. 8, 7. Use your forearm to push the floor away. Lift those hips a little higher. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Ooh, excellent. Come all the way down to the floor. You'll take your right leg out, bend it in, extend it in front of your Pilates Pro Ring. Rock the circle back to slide your ankle underneath, and now you've got your Pilates Pro Ring between your two ankles. Squeeze to lower down and release. Squeeze, release. 8, 7, 6, 5. Try to keep those hips stacked. 3, 2, and 1. For this one, I like to bring my head all the way down to the floor. Keep that squeeze between the ankles. Lift both legs up. Lift. Lift. 8, 7. Work those top obliques. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release it down. Excellent. Pull those knees in for that sweet release. Take your Pilates Pro Ring out, and we'll take it on to the next series. So you're going to roll onto your stomach. The arms extended out in front of you, one cushion to the floor, the other cushion up towards the ceiling. Take your hands to the top cushion. Make sure that your shoulders aren't shrugging up to your ears. Pull those armpits down into the hips to really lengthen. Lower the head down and let the hands stay up above the head. Open your feet to about hip distance apart and let the ankles fall in towards each other. You lift the head and chest as you press the Pilates Pro Ring down and then lower back down. Exhale, press and lift. And lower down. And we'll do one more and then we'll add on, or you can stay in this exact motion. So now you're going to press all the way down, and then as the hands come up, lift the legs up with you. Press the arms and the legs down, and then float the arms and legs up. 4, 3, Squeeze those cheeks to lift the legs up high. Last one. Very good. And lower both legs down. Take your left hand, put it on the floor so you're anchoring down your Pilates Pro Ring. This time you're going to lift your chest as you press your right hand down, and then release the hand as you lower the chest down. Exhale, press and lift, and lower down. 3 more. 3, 2. This is working your lats and your serratus. Last one, and lower down. Switch your hands. Right hand comes down to the bottom cushion, left hand comes up to the top cushion. Press your Pilates Pro Ring down as you lift the chest up, and lower the chest as the hand releases. 4, keep pulling the belly button up off the floor, keep it engaged. 2, last one, and release. Excellent. Now put the Pilates Pro Ring between your palms. You'll bend your knees. Knees are wide, heels are connected. Lift your elbows up, lift your heart and chest up, and try to lift your thighs up. Squeeze your Pilates Pro Ring together and release. And as you're squeezing, pulse your heels up to the ceiling. Squeeze and lift. Squeeze and lift. If that's too much, just do your Pilates Pro Ring. And then take a turn and just do the heels. Lift, but if you can, put them together. Squeeze and lift. Squeeze and lift. 4, 3, really flex through those heels to get into your glutes. 1, and bring your Pilates Pro Ring down to the floor, extend the legs, and press back into a child's pose to release that lower back. Very good. And we've got one last set for you guys. Come on up. You're going to grab your Pilates Pro Ring. All right, so we'll start on your left knee, put your right foot up. Take your Pilates Pro Ring between your palms, and you'll rotate over to the left. Give me 3 squeezes. Squeeze, 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 back through center. And again, rotate, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. If you want to add on, tuck those left toes behind you, hover your knee up above the floor, go into that rotation, and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Back to neutral, and come down. Take an inhale, exhale, lift it up, rotate, squeeze, 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 back through center, knee comes down. Last one, press it up, rotate, squeeze, 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 back through neutral, and lower down. Now we'll stay in the same lower half position and twist the other direction. Rotate, squeeze, 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 back through center. Rotate, squeeze, 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 back through center. Adding on, float it up, rotate. 1, 2, 3, back through center. Again, rotate. 1, 2, 3, back through center. Last one, press it up. Rotate. 1, 2, 3, back through center, and down. Of course, you get to do the other side. Right knee comes down, left leg comes up. Pilates Pro Ring between the palms. Rotate over to the right. 1, 2, 3, back through center. Again, rotate. 1, 2, 3, adding on. Float the knee up. Rotate. 1, 2, 3, to neutral, knee comes down. Again, exhale up. Rotate. 1, 2, 3, neutral, knee comes down. Last one, lift. Rotate. 1, 2, 3, back to neutral and down. Other direction. This time you're rotating over to the left. 1, 2, 3, back to neutral. Again. 1, 2, 3, back to neutral. Adding on, tuck the toes, hover the knee, and rotate. 1, 2, 3, back to neutral, and down. Exhale up. Rotate. 1, 2, 3, neutral, and down. Last one, here we go. Lift and rotate. 1, 2, 3, back to neutral, knee comes down. Whew. Let's have a little stretch now, shall we? Lay down on the floor. Take your Pilates Pro Ring, extend your right leg, and place the top cushion on the ball of the foot. And pull that leg towards you, trying to keep the tailbone down so you really get that length in the back of the leg. Feels good to stretch here. And I've got my left leg planted on the floor. If you have the strength and flexibility, you can extend your leg out for a little bit of a deeper stretch. Take your Pilates Pro Ring into the right hand, open your leg out to the side, keeping that left hip anchored down into the floor. Pull the toes up towards the ears. Pull the abs in to stabilize. Nice deep stretch. And back through center. If your leg isn't extended, extend it now. Take your left hand into your Pilates Pro Ring. Right arm comes out to the side to counterbalance. Let that right leg cross over the midline of the body. Take it into a nice rotated twist here. Get into that IT band. This is usually pretty tender. Pull the toes up towards the nose. Bend the knee as you come back in, and we'll switch legs. So now the right foot is planted on the floor, left leg up to the ceiling. Pilates Pro Ring cushion on the ball of the foot. Pull those toes towards your nose. Tailbone is down. Again, you have the option to extend that right leg. Take your Pilates Pro Ring into the left hand. Keep the right hand down to the floor. Open that left leg out to the side and anchor down through the right hip so that you don't rotate into it. Keep it anchored down and pull the toes up towards the ears. Nice deep stretch here. And then bring the leg up through center. You'll take your Pilates Pro Ring, put it into the right hand, extend your right leg if it isn't already, and cross that left leg over the midline of the body. Oh, super tight on this side for me. Keep the shoulders squared off onto the floor to get that rotation in the spine. And back through center. I hope that you have enjoyed your Pilates Pro Ring advanced workout as much as I have. It's so wonderful to have everybody on our Facebook group. So stay tuned, we've got lots more of exclusive content coming up for you. I'm Dani Hagan, and I'll see you next time.